Living Together. Story and illustration. Directed by Melissa Kinnaman. Designed by Julia. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Chris. He was very stubborn. To live up to his father's expectations, he became a blacksmith against his will. He was able to create many items using iron and steel, but he always felt tired due to all the work. "Why do I have to work all day at this sizzling hot place?" he complained. Meanwhile, Helen, who worked at a restaurant in the village, came to see him. "Chris, our restaurant needs some more knives, forks, and spoons. Could you make some if you have some spare time?" Helen asked politely. "You are going to pay for them, right?" Chris replied curtly. "Of course, I will come back when they are ready," Helen said with a smile. People in the village came to Chris often since he was the only blacksmith in town. "Please make me a hammer." "I need a ladle." "My horse needs new horseshoes." "Please make me some as soon as you can," the villagers requested. They were annoying Chris. Why did they keep asking me favors when they are not doing anything for me? Chris' complaints were never ending. Chris made the items that people wanted, unwillingly. I'll just make it quickly and take a rest," Chris said to himself. Helen observed Chris cautiously from outside. "He looks exhausted," Helen said worriedly. A few days later, the customers in Helen's restaurant started to about the stuff that Chris had made. "What on earth is this?" "I cut my steak with this knife," a woman complained. "I can even hold bread with this fork." "What am I supposed to do with this stubby iron?" a man shouted. The number of customers started to decrease. What was Chris thinking? "These items are useless. We'd better go to the other blacksmith in the next town," the owner said to Helen. Helen knew that the things Chris had made were a mess, but she was worried about him. John, a barber in the village, was cutting his customer's hair with scissors made by Chris. "Ouch, it hurts." "You were supposed to be cutting, not plucking," the customer yelled. John went to Chris. "Chris, the scissors you made me are useless. Why did you give me used ones instead of new ones?" John said. "What? I gave you new ones, for sure. Maybe you don't know how to use them," Chris said with an annoyed look. Sam was surprised when he used his new ladle. "What on earth is this? The soup is leaking out of the new ladle. How can I cook with this? I paid for a new one, but obviously, Chris gave me a used one," Sam grumbled. Sam went to Chris. "The ladle you made me is useless. How am I supposed to use a ladle with a hole?" "Make me another one," Sam demanded. "Then you have to pay more. The quality of the ladle suits the amount you paid for it," Chris said. As the villagers gathered, John said, "Chris is not a good blacksmith. All he wants is money, and he doesn't do his job properly. I almost plucked my customer's hair because of him." "He made me a ladle with a hole," Sam said. Just then, Helen said, "I want to give him a second chance."